Good evening, everyone. Um, this is your soul brother Talib. I just want to generally discuss some things in this video connected to, you know, the times that we're in, the critical times that we're in, with the critical social ills going on, or rather about the critical social ills that is going on here in America and around the world. And I just want to expand on some things, because I have done videos quite lately, especially with our brother Talik Ibn Rod, aka Angel Snup Snup 7 of Reality Temple Ministries, and including on the live hangout with our sister Noble, um, which we did yesterday as well. And I mean, I just saw a video yesterday posted up on Willie D's channel, and no disrespect to Willie D. And I even jotted in a comment under this particular video he was doing about, Caucasians leaving America to relocate in other countries because of the racial divide and other hate divide that's taking place, along with the violence here in this country. And you know, it was a couple of things I agreed with in this video, of course. But at the end of the day, him, just like the rest of most of dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, rather remain comfortable among our oppressor of over 400 years. No matter how bad we've been treated by them, no matter, about all the lynchings and the gerrymandering, the racial profiling, the police brutality, beatings and killings, and other harassment, forms of harassment that's been taking place against us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, and the other discriminatory covert practices that is being dealt to us every day in this country as a people. You know, I must say that, he still has an excuse, like when he made a comment yesterday about that our ancestors, fought and died for this country as well as built this country, which is true. But at the same time, our ancestors did not own a stake in terms of land. Our ancestors did not own any share of the economic wealth in this country. Like we don't own any share equally of the economic wealth in this country. Nor do we equally own any share of land that we govern. We don't, create laws, nor have we ever created laws where even the Caucasian got to respect and follow or abide by. So, I mean, with that said as well, I definitely cannot see any kind of way where we as dark-skinned descendants of slaves in this country will ever be looked upon enough as equals that will really want to make us stay here. It shouldn't want to make us stay here at this point. I mean, and I just want to make another statement too, you know, like which has already been said before so many other times, we haven't really made no major strides since the civil rights movement of 50 some years ago, and we haven't, advanced since then as a people. And the little gains that we obtained from the civil rights movement due to the, endurance and, struggle of our ancestors from that period of time, those gains are being pushed back, it's been pushed back constantly in the past few years, even under President Obama's administration, and as well as now, especially with this racist president that we have. So, we're in no position to even have the right to say that we want to remain in this country. We shouldn't even want to remain in this country at this point in time. And all the other candidates that's running, against Trump in the Democratic Party, they talking all this other stuff, but they not talking about how they gonna change the condition of the poor for once and for all in this country. They're not talking about how they're going to be the voice for the poor, rather to say anyway. They're not talking about how they're going to totally turn around the policies, that continuously allow brothers and sisters of soul in this country to be brutalized every day at the hands of racist police and other races in this country, especially like with the mass shootings, and the ideology that's causing these mass, white supremacist shootings, which has been given a green light by, the current U.S. president of this nation, So like I said before, we are right now in a serious critical time. And like I said yesterday in a video with me and brother Talik and sister Noble on a live stream hangout, that any embassy, especially in Washington, D.C., any country that has an embassy in this country, we will have a case if we went to them embassies to apply for political asylum to whichever country we choose to want to go. We have a legitimate case to be able to apply for political asylum. And we should not, be scared of the unknown. We should just get up and go. If we have the finances or the resources to do so, and those of us who don't, we need to salvage up what we can and do whatever we need to do to make that move, even on the individual level. Because like I said before, on a massive common unity level, it's not going to happen. We are too divided right now as a people for that to happen. We can't even come together to try to gain politically control over a state like Mississippi, where majority of our people are, to try to create a safe haven for us where we can have a state behind us to be able to, make major preparations to get out of America altogether, you know. And, like me and Brother Talik have already discussed, we have many of these people in the so-called pro-black or Afrocentric or Pan-African conscious community that always claim they want separation and that they want to go back to Africa, but they just talking rhetoric and ain't really trying to make no major move to massively get our people, to go in that direction, So like I said, we've basically, well, I know I have, but I threw my hands up in the air on that. And like I said before, if you were, those of you who still want to separate, you might as well do it on an individual basis, as well as if you got family, get them and yourself together and make that move. Because it's going to get worse for black people here in America. And I don't even care really what president is in office after Trump leaves the White House. It's still going to be the same old thing. And all we're seeing right now is that this president is more open with his racism. Unlike the other recent presidents, he's more open with it, where he's allowing these white nationalists in this country to have their way. Why continue to remain here just to be oppressed, whether openly or covertly, at the hands of our enemy? Why remain here in a racist nation like this to continuously suffer for going on for 400 more years? It just don't make no sense. You already seen repeatedly that even trying to integrate or live in peace with an enemy that we've been amongst for over 400 years, that it ain't worked. And obviously it's showing that it ain't gonna never work. So, even the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, that if we can't get a piece of this land or a couple of these states where we can separate ourselves within the borders of this nation to be able to do for ourselves and work things out among ourselves as a people in this country to better a future for ourselves and our later generations, then we might as well leave America altogether. And I repeat that in my own words, basically, is what he basically said. That's the point that we reached in this nation as a people. We have no other alternative other than to get out of harm's way. Because eventually it's going to be a civil war. Whether you call it a race war, or economic war, or whatever fashion it comes in, it's going to be a civil war. This leadership of this nation is not, obviously allowing this country to go in a direction where things is going to change for the better. They're purposely, for whatever reason, allowing this country to go in a direction of where things is going to keep getting worse. But you want to keep remaining here among your oppressors. And like I said, it just don't make no sense. So like I say, and for those of you, just like Willie D, who say, well, he's willing to fight, it don't make no sense if you ain't got no unity from among your people to help you fight this enemy off. Picking up a gun, trying to challenge the rest of the entire United States of America by yourself, It just don't make no sense. You might as well consider yourself signing your own death certificate when you do that. So like I said before, with the fact that we don't have, unity as a whole, as a group of people, particularly those of us who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America, it don't really make no sense for it or serve no purpose for those of us who are dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America to want to remain here. And there are some of us who have the wealth as well as other resources to pack up and leave this country right now. Because it ain't no use in staying here, and whatever you got, we are in a position where they could take that from us now. I mean, look what has happened in recent times, like over in Europe and Greece, where people couldn't even draw money out the bank, ATM machine. And then once they were allowed to draw money out the bank, they were told only how much they could draw out their bank accounts. These are the times we're in. And America is not exempt from this. So, like I said before, we could keep on thinking that things are going to remain the same in this country. As our brother was Talik said, like he said yesterday, critiquingly, as I'm repeating, like he said, doodoo stank no matter what type of doodoo it is, basically. Doodoo is doodoo. So keep on thinking that doodoo don't stink. And like I said before, we are right now in a situation that we are the most vulnerable group of people in this country. We're more vulnerable than the immigrants coming into this country. While everybody focusing on the immigrants, no disrespect to the ones that are being oppressed that's coming over across the border into this country. But the truth of the matter is that we're in a worse bind than they are. At least they got countries to go back to. We don't have no nation, a country of our own behind us to back us. Let alone a state to back us. We don't have a country to back us. So we're in a worse predicament than any other group of people in this country, whether they Caucasian or other dark-skinned groups of people. And like I said before, we need to basically make a decision about leaving America. And it's a good thing that, Willie D brought up the fact that there are people leaving America. And I'm talking about, like he said, American-born citizens, not immigrants, but actual citizens born in this country, who's been in this country, have families that has been in this country for generations upon generations, that are leaving this country. And of course, yes, like he said, those are Caucasians. And those are the intelligent Caucasians that's leaving this country, because they see what's coming down the pike. And if that, and with the fact that the Caucasian, having it more better than anyone else, as any other group in this country is concerned, especially those of us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. If you see that those from among the Caucasians of this nation are taking paths on leaving this country, going to other places, then hey, we definitely as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America need to be thinking along that route and making preparations to actually leave America. because, like I said before, we definitely have no future here. We're nothing but slaughter, especially in the eyes of those that govern and run this country and control everything in this country. We're nothing but slaughter. That's why we're, the majority of the population among this nation's incarcerated. That should tell those of you who are from among dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America something. A lot of us, there are just as many of us who are incarcerated for doing nothing as it is those who are incarcerated because they did something to get incarcerated. And that's a reality. And we need to consider that. We're just in a basic dangerous situation, more so than ever. We have a lot that we have to, contend with more than what our ancestors did. At least our ancestors knew directly who the enemy was when it came to dealing with the racist Caucasians, like the KKK. That's rising up again in the name of white supremacy, as well as other so-called right-wing white supremacist groups in this country, and like I said before, but we have not only to contend with the Caucasian races, but other different groups that don't, feel particular about us. And I'm talking about other darker skinned groups of people in this country that don't really particularly care for us as a group of people, nor respect us. So like I said before, we got a whole lot to contend with, whether we want to realize it or not. And then we got to contend with the fact that we don't get along with each other. The fact that we're killing and fighting each other, especially over petty nonsense, killing each other every day, based off of, rival gang affiliation and all this other craziness. Like what was going on in Chicago and out there in Los Angeles and other parts of this country. So, we're in a situation right now, where we need to really realize that we have a decision right now to make while we still got a chance to. Either we're going to, gather ourselves, or if we got families, gather ourselves together with our families and leave. Africa ain't the only place we necessarily got to go to. There are parts of Latin America that's more, peacefully stabilized than what the situation in America is. And those countries are very more easy to immigrate into. Well, as where you could apply to become a citizen. It's more easier to apply to become citizens in certain Latin American countries than it is in the United States for those who are trying to get to the United States. But like I said yesterday, all you got to do is do your research, especially those of you in the conscious community who are always talking about you do your research. You can research that, instead of researching stuff that's not relevant to our struggle as a people, that's not going to do anything to change the reality of the struggle of us as a people in this country. We need to, research things like that. That's going to be beneficial. Like finding out what countries we can go to and settle at on a more on a less, red tape basis, where it won't take us much to be able to immigrate or to become a citizen. All we got to do is have some countries. All we got to do is have lower basic incomes just to be able to be allowed visas to stay there for certain periods of time until we can eventually apply for permanent citizenship. The information is out there. Go research it online. Like I'm doing and like certain other people are doing. That's all you got to do, because America is not a place for us. It's getting more dangerous in this country. The violence is amping up in this country to the point where it's going to be a place where it's not going to really be safe at all for us to cohabitate at. And it's getting to that point every day. As we turn on our TVs, as we go online and look at the news, this is real. America is becoming more violent than ever. Too violent, especially even raise children at. Like me and the sister yesterday was talking about all these babies that we have, and especially in the black community, and it just don't make no sense. For our people to be having these babies, these illegitimate children, just, going to sleep every night recklessly, having illegitimate children, just so they could be, more people added to the slaughter. Like with the prison industry, the economic and slave industry that's going on in this country, just becoming nothing more but slaves like the rest of us who's been slaves all our lives in this country in one form or another. So like I said, this is all you gonna bring babies in the world just to be embraced with. If you're gonna have kids, then just move to another country where to be more socially stable, where you can have kids at. Because this is not no stable place to be trying to raise a family or to be trying to breed kids into. This is not a place to be having kids at. Not America. Fortunately, I'm glad I never had children, because it's not worth it. We see what's happening with the children that are being produced, especially illegitimate children at that. It's not even easy having children in two parent homes anymore like it used to be. So like I said before, it's a serious situation, right now going on in this country that we need to really, wake up to. And either we going to, divorce from our relationship with our over 400-year oppressors. Either we going to go on and divorce our oppressor, or we going to continue on being abused by our oppressor, like a brother say. It's just that simple. It ain't gonna get no better. The relationship ain't gonna get no better. It's gonna just keep getting worse and worse until we're hauled off to these concentration camps like the Jews of Nazi Germany was. And until we're dumped off into these mass graves that they also got waiting for us with these, plastic human makeshift coffins that they also got waiting on us to pile us into while they dump us off into these mass graves. I mean, this is not a game, you know. They have these mass graves waiting for us. All you got to do is go online, go on YouTube. The information is there. They're duplicating as many of these plastic human makeshift coffins, as many as they can. And the first ones that's gonna be dumped off in them, and dumped off into these mass graves within those human makeshift plastic coffins, is dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. So keep on thinking this is a game. This is not a game. They got a plan for us. And like those of you in the black conscious community always talking about that they have a plan to exterminate us. Yes, you're right, they do. And that's why I can't see why you want to stay in this country. You the main ones making plans on staying in Babylon. So, I mean, and that's backwards when you know what's happening. That's backwards thinking. Why would you want to make plans to remain in this cesspool called modern day Babylon? You know, just like you read the Bible, including you Christians who know, where it says, "Come out of her, my children." You know, but you want to remain here. It don't make no sense when the message is already telling you before it start burning for real to come out of her. That's a sign. Get out of her. You know, no matter, you know, what happens when you get to wherever you got to go. We'll worry about that later. Get out of her. That's the whole point of it. Get the heck up out of her. You know, just like them immigrants who come over here. They don't worry about how it's going to be when they get here to America. They leave from the countries of their origins where they're being oppressed at. You know, and that's what we need to do as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. Don't worry about where we going, how we going to get there. None of that. What we going to have when we get there. We'll worry about that when we get there. What we ain't going to have when we get there. We'll worry about that when we get there. And it's just that simple. We ain't got time to be worrying about all that. Delicate as our situation is as a people in this country, with all the police brutality killings that's ramping up on us as a people. The lynchings that's still ramping up on us as a people. You know, the systematic lynchings in the so-called criminal justice system and the penal system that's ramping up on us every day as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. You know, we need to really consider all this right now, because we ain't got a hell of a chance as a people in this country as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. We have no chance. You know, we could keep, like I say, playing games all we want to, especially with our future generations behind us. This is serious. These mass killings that we just heard about taking place in El Paso, Texas, and you know, in California and Dayton, Ohio, is gonna keep on taking places. It's gonna keep on taking place. It's not gonna stop. Like I said, no matter even who the next president is after Trump, it's gonna continue. You know, all he did was open up the invitation for it to get worse. It's not going to get any better. And especially if he get reelected to another term, you'll see. It's not going to get any better. So, like I said before, you can keep playing games all you want to. This is serious. It's very serious. We are in a serious, internally serious situation that we need to get out of. I don't know what else or how else to say it. And for those of you like Willie D who got money that want to remain among your oppressors will be my guest. They already want to strip you of what you got. Look what they tried to do with Michael Jackson until the day of his death. And even after he died, they were still trying to strip him of everything that he had. That should tell you something what they think about black people in this country who got money. Look what they doing to Bill Cosby. Look what they doing to R. Kelly. That should be a wake-up call. They don't care nothing about you because you got money. We should have saw that in the case of Mike Tyson and O.J. Simpson. They don't care nothing about you having money. Wake up. Look at Tiger Woods. He's another example. They don't care nothing about you being black in America with money. Wake up. This is not a game. Black or being rich or poor, you still a nigga. You still a slave. Wake the heck up. That's all I can say. And in my closing, you can keep taking this for a game all you want to. This is not a game. This is real. We are in a very dire situation as black people. A dark skin, or rather, which I rather prefer to call dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. We are in a serious situation right now. Our lives is at stake. Externally. When you want to talk about extermination. Yes, our lives is at stake. This is not no game. You want to run around here still thinking you thugs, gangsters, pimps, hoes, all that. All that ain't going to get you nothing but headed to the mass grave. It already got you sitting in these penal institutions across the country. And the mass graves is just as much more worse. Because that's when it's going to really be too late for you to turn back the clock. So keep playing. Keep playing with these devils, as you want to call them. Keep playing with them. They got something for you. And like I said before, I don't know what else much to say for right now. But I done said all I could say. And hey, and especially to those of you which I relate to, those of you that's caught up in drug addiction, out there slanging dope, helping to perpetuate the destruction in that manner of your own people, hey, that's only your doom and demise, or rather to say demise. So, you're not doing nothing but contributing the demise of yourself and your own kind when you sell drugs or abuse drugs. That's only a part of your demise as a people, as a group of people. So keep on helping to perpetuate that. It's leading into the same direction like I've been talking about throughout this video. So, hey, while you still out here getting high, getting drunk, partying, fucking, they got a plan for you. As soon as they surprise you with a knock on the door talking about we got somewhere to take you, which is called concentration camps and mass graves, you ain't going to be able to blame nobody else but yourself. And at that point, it's going to be too late in the game, even to be talking about trying to blame somebody. Blame yourself, because it's going to be on you anyway. And with that said, I'm Audi 5000. Peace.